It truly feels like the end times. And with the situation going on in the world where we have the threat of nuclear annihilation, another global conflict, it really makes you sit back and just realize how much or how unnecessary it really all is. Or maybe is it necessary? And that's a question I've been asking myself. Like, why? This didn't really have to, it didn't have to be this way. We're the most advanced and technologically sound that we've ever been. We have the most humans on the earth that there's ever been at one time. And yet, we still fall prey to human nature. Human nature always finds a way to lead us toward destruction. And that is the case today. We've had a pandemic. Now we have this war in Europe, and Russia invades Ukraine, and they put themselves in a position to where now that they're the exiled kid in the corner now. That's what they are on the world stage. And it's not saying that other countries haven't done similar things like, hey, we invaded Iraq. Yeah, that's wrong. A lot of people always bring up that we invaded Iraq, but that doesn't mean just because we did something wrong that other people got to do something wrong as well. So this precedent of just, invading, coming up with a lie or coming up with a false pretense just to invade a country for strategic purposes, it's all wild. And the whole point of this invasion, there's a multitude of reasons. One of them is NATO coming too close to the border of Russia. Russia needing one last, hoorah. Resources is another thing. I think Crimea, interestingly, they have no water, or the water supply. They're not getting a supply of water to the island itself or to the peninsula. I think it might be an island or a peninsula. The little dangling piece of land at the bottom of Ukraine that Russia annexed. But this is just, it's a bad time. The world was not supposed to be like this, but that's why I say it feels like the end times. Because in the end, human nature leads us to destruction. The other day, Russia was sending 17 Iskander missiles to Ukraine. Iskander missiles are ballistic missiles that have the capability to deliver nuclear payloads. So you can put a nuclear tipped warhead on them. And they were sending them by train into Ukraine. And there's been talks of Russia potentially using a tactical nuclear weapon within the battlefield. Now, that will be the first time a nuclear weapon has been used in combat since we dropped those two atomic bombs on Japan in the 1940s, in 1945, 70-something years ago. And it would change things. It would definitely change the world, because there's countries like Poland. Poland is one country that's been occupied by the Soviets, occupied by the Germans. So they are one country that really they don't have good blood with Russia. And they're talking about retaliating if a nuclear weapon is used. And other people are talking about retaliating if a nuclear weapon is used. And they're talking about actual combat retaliation. And that would definitely escalate. That would definitely escalate the war to a much broader conflict. And then on top of that, you have North Korea now Kim Jong-un putting his foot back in the mix, shooting ballistic missiles, not just into the water, but over Japan. Usually they just shoot them into the ocean, and it might get near Japan and near the waters, maybe near South Korea's waters. But this time, that thing went over the country, and it caused a panic. I think people in Japan are probably still on edge right now because of that. And that's the type of situation that we're in right now. And then you have China, the potential of China to invade Taiwan. It's all just, there's multiple jump off points that this thing could, go down at. And that's why I just say be prepared. Be prepared for anything. Get some extra food, extra water, have extra grocery canned goods and stuff like that in your house. Spend good time with your family. It's not meant to be doom and gloom, but just, spend good time. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy life. Build your relationship with God. Just get right and just be prepared, because we are in an age of absolute chaos and anarchy. And this chaos and anarchy could be the downfall of us. It could be the downfall of us. And it didn't have to be that way. And, the world has been through different plagues and wars and all of that type of stuff for thousands of years. But guess what? We kept growing. The population kept growing. We kept advancing. We kept going. But this is different. This has the potential to, give us a dinosaurs type situation where we just get wiped out. And you see the dinosaurs, we don't see no dinosaurs walking around here anymore, okay? And it would destroy a good chunk of the world if we did end up in a nuclear conflict, a broad nuclear conflict. And that would just be unpleasant, because I want to have a future. I want to have a family. I want to have all that stuff in the future. But nothing's guaranteed in this life. So everybody just be prepared. Just be on the lookout. Try to stay informed. And just get right. Because it's like our lives are in the hands of a few world leaders, which is crazy. They have the mass destruction in the palm of their hand. The capability for mass destruction in the palm of their hands. So, it's crazy. You think about human nature, man. Because people, you see how crazy people can be? How they do random acts of violence? Just imagine if one of those people had the nuclear button. You don't know what these people are thinking. You don't know, what's going on. A lot of these the leaders and rich people, they have bunkers. I remember a few years ago, a lot of wealthy individuals were buying bunkers in New Zealand. New Zealand's all the way down in the southern hemisphere. And a lot of those countries might not be as affected by a global nuclear war. So they're buying stuff down in the middle of nowhere with the kangaroos. So, it's just crazy to think about. But yeah, everybody just be prepared, be on the lookout. There's no need to panic, but just always be vigilant. That's all I got for this one. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, like, whenever you do it, however you do, wherever you do it, just do it. It is your boy Red X Black, and I am out. Peace.